Hello, this is Jalen Cook, and this is my final reflection for Google in Education AEP 873. So, initially, whenever I signed up to take this course, to be honest, this was one of the reasons why I chose to go to school at Fort Hays State University. I saw this class and I was just super excited to learn more about Google Education, and I was also excited that most of the courses at FHSU were Google based so that I could learn more about it. I had really high expectations and I was looking forward to learning a lot of information that I could take back to my classroom and also train other teachers on. I have seen many of my teacher friends incorporate Google for Education into their classes, and they run it very effectively, and I was just looking forward to learning more about how I could use Google myself. And I also didn't know exactly what all Google could do. So, I knew that there was a wide variety of tools and features that were out there for education purposes, but I just didn't know how to access them. And also with the standards, I had worked with both the ISTA standards and the TPAC standards a little bit, but I was still trying to learn more about them. And, going into this course, I knew that after dealing with them in so many courses, we're going to end up figuring out what they mean pretty well. And I'll get into that just in just a minute on how I feel about them, and that I really do think that they will help my teaching. So the explanation stage, I gathered more in-depth information on what Google is capable of in education. The hard part is that I just feel like we could take multiple courses on this and never, fully understand everything that Google is capable of. But this course definitely touched the surface and gave me resources that I could use to dig myself, which, is always a good thing with technology. I also really found it beneficial, and I probably learned more, even though at first I was like really dreading the group project because we're all just, really trying to get all of our own stuff done, and it's hard enough to balance our own schedules, much less work with multiple people. But I actually really got a lot out of interacting with my classmates and probably found more tools from them than I would have, had we not been interacting together. So that was a great benefit of the course. My conjecture stage, my question is, how can I utilize the resources gathered in this class in my classroom and help other teachers in their classes? With that being said, the analysis stage, I'm interested in exploring what we have access to at our school. I have said before that my school has not gotten on board yet with Google Education. So, although we have Google Chromebooks, we are currently using Office 365. And like I said in the last slide, I learned more through my classmates than, I would have thought I would have, because one of my group members actually told me that I should really look into using Microsoft Teams, which I honestly had no idea that we even had access to through Office 365 with our email and what we have signed up for. So I'm really looking forward to, now that I know that, now once she mentioned that, I started researching it a little bit and watching videos and playing with it at my school. And I'm like, wow, this is really beneficial. And it might not be the exact same as Google, but I think that it will have some of the same capabilities that we might could utilize if we aren't able to get our technology coordinator on board with getting Google at our school. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to sharing the resources that I've learned through this course with other teachers. And the main thing is just digging into those resources, not just through this class, but after the class ends. One of the biggest benefits that I found in this course was being introduced to Alice Keeler. She has some really great tools that, I'm a math teacher and my sister is a math teacher, and we're always looking for tools that we can use and utilize with technology in the math classroom. And wow, she just has some really great ideas. So I have her on my homepage so that I can just click her blog and follow her website and keep up with the great things that she's posting about. And of course, that it's just a huge thing that it's linked to math. And I also want to teach the teachers in my school about the ISTA standards because honestly, like I said at the beginning, I was kind of like, oh, we're going to have to incorporate these into every discussion, every assignment. But now I really am starting to figure it out. And I think in the long run, they will help me to understand if I'm actually incorporating technology in a productive way or if I'm just incorporating technology to incorporate technology. And if it's not really serving a purpose, then why am I using it? So that's the main thing that I want to inform the teachers at my school about. The synthesis stage, prior to the course, I thought that Google was the only way to go. And as I just mentioned in the last slide, I really learned a lot about Office 365 and the resources that it has to offer. Now, I know it's not as big as Google, but I do know that it's growing. But I probably would have never researched it on my own had it not been through this course, just because we don't have a lot of formal training through technology at our school. And I'm really hoping to learn more about that so that I can take it back on my own. I do want to still research Google and try to get it at our school just because Google education is just taking, it's just taking over. There's so many resources that are out there, and almost every educational website has a resource where you can add it to your Google Classroom. Link this to your Google Classroom, create a Google document, etc. It's just there's some really great tools out there that could be of great benefit. Another thing that I learned was that going completely digital may not be what's best for the students. And I had thought, about using Google Classroom. I thought that I would try to get all of my paperwork in digital form. And after taking this course, I'm realizing that just because it's on the computer doesn't necessarily make it better. And especially like learning from Alice Keeler, she said that if it's just posting a paper online, really what's the purpose? So, why would you post every worksheet online if it's not serving a greater purpose than that? And the final thing that I'm still looking into, of course, I would like to become a Google certified educator, but I really need to get my school on board with Google first because I just kind of don't know what the point would be in going through all of that work if I'm not able to use the resource for my students and at my school. So I'm going to talk to my technology my technology coordinator at my school and see if it would be possible to set up Google accounts for our students and get them linked up to, our Google Classrooms if we can create them and things like that. So altogether, this course was very beneficial, and the main thing that I am really taking away is not necessarily how to use all of the tools through Google, because those are gonna, I probably could have figured those out on my own, but having access to the resources and being able to find those and now being able to store those will carry me through and give me a place to look whenever I'm not sure about something to do in my own classroom. So thanks for a great semester, you guys, and good luck in the future.